Welcome back to Portable Entrepreneur, where here we talk all about starting and growing your own digital marketing agency. And today I want to walk you step by step through the process of building your own agency. I want to help you plan on how to go from ground zero to profitability as quickly as possible. And not just as quickly, but as simply as possible too, because it is very easy to have this long to-do list of things that we feel that we should do, we must do, we have to do in order to make this happen. But oftentimes I find that it actually gets filled up with a whole lot of fluff. And so that's why I really want to help you simplify each of these steps, really condense them. So everything is simple and it's straight to the point, so you know exactly what you need to be doing based on where you're at now. So the very first step is one that I find most people tend to just skip completely over. And this is to really get clear on what you want out of this. What does success look like to you? How much money do you want out of this? What kind of impact do you want to have? Why are you doing this in the first place? What are the things that you enjoy doing? What are the things that you don't enjoy doing? You see, we got to be really clear on this, because if we don't, when we get to a fork in the road and we got to make a decision about whether to take path A or path B, if we don't know what it is that we want, it's going to be much, much harder to make that decision. And it's also so much easier to get distracted by everyone else and what they're doing. So if we see another agency and, oh, they look so successful, they have all this revenue coming in, they seem like they got everything together, they got the long client list, well, why don't we just copy what it is that they're doing? Only realize they're this big agency, they have 50 employees, and all we really want is to make a few $1,000s on the side. Well, see, it doesn't make sense for us to go after someone else who has a completely different outcome in mind. And we're probably a totally different person than them as well. So this is why it's very clear, no matter which way you want to go, there's no wrong or right answer here. But we don't want to get distracted by ideas or people or possibilities that really aren't in alignment with what we want out of this. Now that we're clear, the next thing that we need to do is we need to get very clear on who our target market is. What do our ideal clients look like? And we want to get as specific as possible here. Now, I've done a whole nother video on 4 different ways to niche down. And if you'd find that helpful, if you're trying to explore how you actually find your target market, I'd recommend watching that, and you can find the link to that down in the description. But this is where you really want to identify who specifically you're going to go after. What are their pain points? What are they struggling with? How do they currently do lead generation? Where do they spend most of their time online? Or how about offline? Are these businesses profitable? Are they actually going to be able to afford your services? Are you actually going to be able to offer a service that is going to be able to make a big difference in their business? Do you see any of these types of businesses already spending money on advertising? So this is where you really want to start researching more into the types of businesses that you may want to serve, the types of clients that you may want to serve, and actually even speak to some of the business owners in this area. This is incredibly important, and this is the fastest, by far, way to get information. And this doesn't have to be a sales call or a sales discussion. This is just, I'm trying to find out more about you. I want to find out how I would be able to better serve you, even if we don't work together, me and you, but I'm trying to learn here so I can help better this industry. Now, after you've put some work into this, if you're not sure if you have this down, something that you can do is use a user persona tool to really just figure out, are you really able to describe who your specific ideal client is? And I'll link to a free user persona tool that I recommend down in the description as well. But that's something that really can help make sure that you have gathered all of the information you need and can be very specific. So as you see, as we go through these steps, this is all about you building a puzzle, and piece by piece, we're going to start building this puzzle and putting it together. But if we start putting the wrong pieces together, they don't quite align, they don't match up, well, this is where you're going to start running into problems in the business. So now that we know who we want to serve, now we need to look at, well, how are we going to help solve their problem? What solutions are we going to be able to offer? So see, this is where a lot of people are already messed up at the beginning of their business, because they have come up with a solution and now they're trying to blindly offer this to anyone and everyone that passes them. So if we have the right audience to be served and we have a fantastic solution to a problem, but we're trying to offer that great solution to an audience that really isn't suffering enough from that problem, it's not going to work. It doesn't matter if you offer a low price, it doesn't matter if you offer a high price. All of the pieces of the puzzle have to match and nicely fit together in order for this to work. So this is where we're not trying to offer all services or any services. We're trying to offer the one service that is really going to help solve the problem, that is going to make an actual impact on the business. And there's a whole variety of digital marketing services that you can offer to help solve these problems. But we can't come up with that solution until we've done the last step, which is to figure out who we're actually trying to help and knowing what their struggles are. So now that you have identified the problem and now you've been able to explore some of the solutions, now you can really look at your own skills. Do you actually have the ability to offer this service? Do you already have the experience? Do you have the know-how? Do you need to spend any time improving on that skill? Are you going to need to get outside help in order to provide this? Now it's time to get really good at your skill. And so you may have to put in some practice. And I've done a video about different ways that you can start to earn money. You can start to build up your portfolio even if you don't have experience. So if you need more ideas on how to go about this without necessarily having to work for free, I'll link to that down in the description below. But this is where you want to practice and you want to start building up those skills so that you know that you're going to be able to get the real results that businesses want. This is going to build your confidence. It's going to allow you to make an impact. It's going to allow you to grow your business. You're going to be more profitable. The businesses you serve are going to be more profitable. So this is very, very important. But what I like about this process here is that you're figuring out who you want to serve first. Then you're moving on to, okay, well, what solution am I going to provide? What's the one thing that I can do? And it condenses this so you don't feel like you have to learn everything out there, all the coding languages and all these different marketing strategies just to be able to serve a single client so that you've covered all your bases and can work with anyone who's out there. We are trying to get you good at one particular thing, and you get really good at that. You build up that skill, you start getting results, and you can always expand from there. You can start to add on to your skill set as you go. So this really helps you make a very specific, very targeted learning plan. My recommendation to you is if you are in the learning phase, you need to build up those skills, is to spend about 20% of your learning time learning, watching videos like this, taking a course if you need to, reading. But you spend 80% of your learning time hands-on in there, trying out these marketing skills, trying out the things that you're learning, because that's really how you're going to build your skills the fastest. Next, this is where you want to build social proof. You want to serve clients, you want to get them results, and then you want to let those results speak for themselves. So your number one goal is if you do not have a portfolio, you do not have any proof of the results that you can get, you need to go out and find one client, and your number one job, your only job, is to get them results. Then when you get them results, you use those results to land client number 2. And then your one and only job is to get client number 2 those results. And then you use the results from client 1 and 2 to land client number 3. Again, you could be working for free. You could be doing discounted work. You could be doing trial work. Again, you can look at a video for different ideas that I have linked below. But you need to be building up those results. So anywhere from as little as just 3 clients that you've worked with and you've been able to achieve results can make a massive difference in your marketing, in your business, and being able to land clients. So anywhere in the 3 to 5 clients that you've been able to generate results for is going to be amazing for you. So at this point, if you've done the other steps and you are here at this point and you do not have those results, nothing else outside of this matters. Don't worry all about lead generation and building this fancy website for yourself and these sales funnels and all these other things you could do, you think you should do, you must do. Just focus on getting these results. That is going to make by far the biggest difference in your business. And then as you get into more sales funnels and lead generation, all of that, well, all of these results are going to make the biggest difference in how well that actually works. So put all of your time here. Okay, now you've taken some time, you've built up some results. Well, hey, now we can start actually moving into lead generation. Now, before you actually did need to talk to some businesses and actually get some to work with you to start building up this proof. But now this is where you can actually start focusing on a more consistent lead generation strategy that works for your business. We tend to make this a lot bigger and feel a lot more complicated and scary and something that's only big businesses do. We really need to. But here we can make this simple. We just need to focus on what is the traffic source that is going to send people to our website? On our website, how are we going to convert the visitor into a lead? How are they going to opt in? What do we have for them? And then from there, how are we going to nurture them? Do we have an automated email sequence? Do we have a newsletter going out? What is it that we are doing to continue to guide them through this process so they make contact with us and start to work with us? Let's keep it that simple. Traffic source, our website lead capture, and nurture. And there really are so many different ideas for lead generation. It really comes down to what fits your personality and what also is going to be where your ideal clients actually spend time. What's actually going to get in front of that ideal audience. So you're not just getting in front of this small subset that may be in this one area where really you should be focusing over here. So we really have to balance what your style is along with where those ideal clients are actually spending time. But you should be learning more about that as you're figuring out who it is that you're serving and you're researching them a bit more in the beginning of these stages. But this is where you can look at what can you actually dedicate time to actually doing and working towards every single week. What can you show up consistently for? Actually, what part of this can you set up and can you automate so that once you've done it, you don't have to continue to do it. It's going to be sitting there working for you. And if you want help with any of these, figuring out all of the different types of traffic sources that you can use to attract leads into your business, actually how to capture them on your website, all of the lead magnets, nurturing them through automated email sequences, all of these moving pieces of the sales funnel, you'll find all of that inside Next Level so that it's done for you. It's ready to go and you just need to take it and apply it. Otherwise, this is something that you need to create, you need to think about, and you need to set up. So the less leads that you have right now in your business, the more time that you're going to need to spend doing this. But again, don't worry about this lead generation piece until you've built up that social proof. Now, see, that's all you really need to do. We can even take off the lead generation part for most people who are just getting started. But of course, that's where things really start to scale. So once you get to that, if you're looking at, well, what are my next steps? How do I grow from there once I get lead generation? I'm starting to get these leads. And this is where there's a couple of things that I would do. The first is to create a process to streamline what you do. Again, I've shared my web design workflow process, so I'll link to that down below. But this is where you really take whatever service it is that you're offering and you create a very specific step-by-step process for you to be able to follow. Even if this is only you yourself on your team, making sure that you've done each and every step so that everything is done accurately, everything is done on time. You don't lose time going back and checking on things or forgetting about things, and everything that you produce is of high quality. It really helps to streamline things. You become more efficient. When you become more efficient, you finish things faster, your business becomes even more profitable. Now, the next thing that you can consider is expanding on your team. I wouldn't expand on my team until I start to have a process in place that allows me to be able to do that so that I know those that I'm bringing on are going to be able to follow the same process that I'm following so that they're going to get the same results that I'm getting for my clients as well. But again, this is optional, and this goes back to really understanding what you do and you don't want out of your business. So you're not building a business just because it sounds good or doing it the way someone else is doing it, but it's really a business designed around you and what you want out of this. And third, what you can also do at this point, now that you have built up your skill, you built up results, is now you can start working on, again, optionally, another service that is going to help get even better results for the clients that you're working with. So now not only can you offer this new service to new clients who are coming in, you can go back to your existing clients or even past clients and offer them this new service, because that really makes an easy way to be able to grow your revenue when you can continue to serve those who are already there in front of you. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions at all that we haven't covered here, you want to expand on anything that was here about how to start your own digital marketing agency from scratch, let me know down in the comments below. I'm happy to help answer questions. As I've mentioned here as well, don't forget to check the description as well. I have a lot of helpful videos on starting and growing your business, getting better results for clients, and I've listed a lot of those down below so that you can find out even more based on where you're at in your business. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.